the case that cannot be forgotten.
Oh, God.
Can only someone truly insane have committed these acts?
These are all behaviors of someone who is completely unaware of the severity of their behaviors.
The turns that no one could see coming.
I'm just concerned about you, so.
In today's true crime exploration, we'll do a deep dive into the harrowing tale of Timothy Jones Jr., a father whose life spiraled down into an unthinkable tragedy. This is a story that shakes the core of our understanding of paternal love, unveiling a series of events that led to the demise of his 5 young children. Yes, you heard it right. 5. As we unravel this tale, one question lingers. How did this man's path take such a dark and devastating turn, leading him to betray the very essence of fatherhood? Join us in this gripping exploration of Timothy Jones Jr.'s downward spiral from a bright student and decent father to a ruthless murderer. Timothy Jones Jr. was born in 1981. Despite his early life challenges in Illinois, he actually showed academic promise and went on to earn a degree in computer engineering. He married young Amber Kyzer, a Pennsylvania native. The marriage was initially perceived as blissful and fruitful as it produced 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. In 2011, Jones graduated from Mississippi State University. The whole family then relocated to South Carolina for Timothy to work as an engineer for Intel in Columbia, where Amber became a stay-at-home mother. Later on,
Tim and I had a lot of good times. It just becomes a point when things are volatile that you just make a choice. Where your young children aren't seeing certain things, it's affecting them at a point. And you make a choice to separate yourself from that person. And it's hard to separate yourself from that person because that's all you've known. All I knew from 19 was Tim.
Amber said her husband believed women are to be seen and not heard, keep the children out of the way, and at one point he wanted a farm full of children. Ironically, Timothy is a strict Christian fundamentalist. In fact, after his arrest, police seized his religious belongings, including a Bible with verses highlighted on corporal punishment. Problematic as the marriage seemed, it didn't really raise concern. From all looks and appearances, they appeared like another imperfect family. However, ordinary life belied the turmoil within. Their marriage began to unravel due to a combination of Jones's increasing instability and substance abuse issues. The relationship deteriorated over time, leading to a contentious divorce that significantly impacted Jones's life and mental state. The couple separated in May 2012. Allegedly, it happened because Jones discovered that his wife had a lover in the neighborhood. According to court records, Amber Jones did have an affair with a 19-year-old. Custody battles ensued, and Timothy ultimately gained custody of the children. But the responsibility of single fatherhood, coupled with his personal demons, began to take a severe toll on him. The once loving father increasingly exerted strict and unreasonable control over his children, driven by a combination of religious fanaticism, paranoia, and perhaps the overwhelming pressure of raising 5 kids alone. As Jones descended into a more erratic and abusive state, the family's life became characterized by isolation and strict routines. The household was steeped in an atmosphere of discipline and fear, far removed from the nurturing environment the children needed. The breakdown of his marriage laid the groundwork for the tragic events that would later unfold. The tension within the household reached a breaking point in August of 2014. Jones's behavior became more abusive. The children, once the recipients of their father's flawed but genuine affection, now found themselves at the mercy of his unpredictable moods. Timothy was actually already investigated twice for child abuse during this time, but investigators found no evidence that warranted removing the children from home. In May 2014, one of his children told his teacher that Jones spanked him and forced him to do exercises as punishment. But since there were no bruises, investigators considered the punishment lawful. 2 weeks later, Jones was again accused of abuse. This was a statement from the caseworker in charge at the time. Mr. Jones beats the child, often leaving bruises. Mr. Jones does not feed the children adequately. It is reported Mr. Jones does not want to send his children back to public schools because he does not want the school to report the beatings.
Have you ever been told that you had a mental illness?
By a doctor?
Just anybody?
Oh yeah, you're f***ing nuts, dude. My nickname in high school was the crazy white guy.
Furthermore, the caseworker noted, Dad appears to be overwhelmed as he is unable to maintain the home. Unfortunately, this investigation remained open and saw no closure until the time of the murders. Otherwise, we would have had a better ending to this tale. The days leading up to the tragedy were marked by Jones's heightened sense of paranoia and deteriorating mental state. All this actually started because he believed his children were conspiring against him, that they were all working together to hand him over to the authorities because of his bad parenting. The household, already a tinderbox of tension and fear, was about to be ignited by a single catastrophic event. A series of poor decisions and a fatal misunderstanding set the stage for a tragedy that would shock the nation and leave an indelible mark on the community. On August 28 of the same year, the situation in the Jones household took a fatal turn.
Where you used a belt too? Used a belt too? Who do you remember using the belt on?
Babies.
The day started like any other, with the kids under the strict routine set by their father. Timothy picked up his 3 eldest children, Mara, Elias, and Natan, from school, and his 2 youngest, Gabriel and Abigail, from a nearby daycare. Amber, the mother, called the family home at 7 p.m. and spoke to one of her sons.
I just, for like the past 2 or 3 phone calls, you've been like really on the edge. I'm saying you're like coming off really frustrated or whatever, and I was just concerned about you, so please call. I'm not calling to argue or anything.
After that, she said she could no longer contact Jones or her children. On that fateful evening, an incident once again led Jones to revisit his belief that they were plotting against him. In a fit of rage and under the grip of his delusions, Jones strangled his 6-year-old son. The realization of what he had done set off a chain reaction of panic and further irrational decisions. Jones then decided to kill his other 4 children, Elaine, Gabriel, Elias, and Mara.
So why'd you buy those trash bags? To do what now? Put the bodies in.
He then wrapped all the bodies in trash bags, one by one. Over the next several days, Jones drove around with the bodies of his children in the car, seemingly lost in his own madness. He was under the influence of synthetic marijuana. During this time, he treated the children's remains with a chilling lack of humanity, attempting to dispose of them in a manner that betrayed any sense of paternal love. Jones's journey came to an end on September 6 of 2014, when he was arrested at a traffic checkpoint in Mississippi. He had been driving erratically and was visibly distressed. When questioned by the authorities, he made statements that led them to search his vehicle, where they discovered a gruesome scene. The decomposing bodies of his 5 children were in garbage bags, a sight that shocked even seasoned law enforcement officers. Notably, a large amount of bleach was used to cover up the smell of decay. Following the discovery of the bodies, Timothy Jones Jr. was arrested and charged with 5 counts of murder. The trial that ensued was a high-profile and emotionally charged affair.
Can't bring myself to want anybody to die. He did not show my children mercy, by any means.
Drawing national attention and stirring deep hatred in all who followed the case. The investigation was extensive, with law enforcement officials and forensic experts piecing together the events that led to the children's deaths. They analyzed the physical evidence found in Jones's car and home, including chilling notes and a to-do list that detailed his plans for the murders and body disposal. All this portrayed Jones as a man who methodically planned and executed the murder of his children. The defense argued that Jones was not in his right mind at the time of the killings. They presented evidence of his history of mental illness and substance abuse, suggesting these factors significantly impaired his judgment, leading to a psychotic break. The defense's argument presented Jones as incapable of understanding the morality or legality of his actions.
Oh, what just happened? What just happened? And I followed suit with the other 4.
And how did you
So
kill
that
them?
was with my hands around their neck.
Around their neck?
However, the prosecution countered with testimonies from experts who asserted that despite his mental health issues and substance abuse, Jones was aware of his actions and the consequences. They painted a picture of a man driven by anger and a desire for control, who chose to murder his children in a calculated and brutal manner. In fact, on September 3, Timothy visited a West Columbia Walmart. He purchased several items he used to mutilate his children, including large plastic bins, saws, and muriatic acid. It was difficult to persuade a jury that all those steps were taken by someone out of touch with reality. In the trial, Travis Presley, a prison guard, testified that Jones admitted to strangling his eldest daughter after she witnessed him murdering one of her brothers. Jones claimed he found his son dead in his bed, which encouraged him to kill the others. He even admitted to strangling his youngest children with a belt because their necks were too small for his hands to strangle properly. The children's mother also took the stand. She provided a deeply personal account of her life with Jones and the impact of the tragedy on her and her family. She also denied all claims of her having an affair, and that the divorce was solely due to Timothy's erratic behavior and substance abuse. After weeks of testimony and deliberation, the jury found Timothy Jones Jr. guilty of 5 counts of murder. The sentencing phase followed, and they ultimately decided on the death penalty for the child killer. Today, Timothy Jones is on death row. He remains incarcerated, awaiting the outcome of appeals and further legal proceedings typical in death penalty cases. Thank you for watching. Drop your thoughts on this chilling story in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more daily true crime stories.